The leader of the free world has a pretty important job. You have to look after the United States' interest at home and abroad while looking dignified and statesmanlike in the process. It is a job that comes with great power and a heck of a lot of responsibility. Who is this, the president or Spider-Man? So it should come as no surprise that it comes with a few perks too. One of these are the remarkably high-tech forms of protection the president enjoys. Here are the 10 most mind-blowing presidential security features.
Amazing!
Number 10. 8-inch thick armored doors. The president's car is generally referred to as the Beast. This could be an obscure reference to a popular member of the X-Men, but it probably has a lot more to do with its remarkable security features. It's basically impregnable. The vehicle comes with 8-inch thick armored doors and glass that can stop a .44 Magnum bullet. Its body is made up of 5 inches of military-grade armor, and the Beast also features armored floor plates to protect the president from any pesky bombs placed or thrown underneath it. The car also has an armored gas tank with a special foam that will seal itself if punctured. An additional safety measure sees the Beast fly in advance of Air Force One when the president is on the move, meaning wherever the president goes, the Beast goes with him. Number 9. The Dillon M134D Gatling Gun. It's all well and good having a load of armor to protect the president if he was to come under attack, but it would also be a good idea if the Secret Service could fight back rather than just cower behind the bulletproof glass. This is why the presidential motorcade comes packed with a 6-barrel Dillon M134D Gatling gun that can fire thousands of rounds per minute. It has been described as the finest small-caliber defense suppression weapon in the world and can hit around 3,000 rounds per minute. It is fed from either a 3,000 or 4,400 round magazine, and when the gun is fired, the driver has to start the car's windshield wipers to be able to see the road ahead. It is not housed in the Beast itself, but in one of the other cars in the motorcade, and pops out of the vehicle's roof in the event of an emergency. Of course, the Secret Service are all packing considerable firepower too. Number 8. Concealed oxygen. Of course, there is one potential way of puncturing the Beast's armor, and that is in the form of poison. If the air inside the car was ever to become toxic to the commander-in-chief, then the oxygen supply concealed in the vehicle's trunk would be called into action. The car also boasts night vision cameras and tear gas cannons if things ever really get out of hand. Number 7. Bulletproof glass. The president's inauguration is a rare moment when he has to set foot in front of hundreds of thousands of people, which means potentially hundreds of thousands of threats. This requires some fancy bulletproof glass. The glass at a president's inauguration is made up of around 3 inches of pretty special stuff. It is a combination of a range of space-age material which includes glass, ceramic, crystal, and even polymers, and is designed to resist bullets and bomb blasts. Number 6. Hidden flares. Okay, so the Beast security features are pretty impressive, but if you really want to delve into the high-tech world of James Bond badassery, then counterintuitively, we have to take to the skies. Air Force One, otherwise known as AF-1, although confusingly there are 2 of them, is one of the most pimped-out planes around. For instance, its wings are no ordinary wings. They come with hidden flares to distract, discourage, or disrupt enemy missiles and heat-seeking projectiles. The plane is also equipped with electronic countermeasures that can jam enemy radar and disarm their missiles. Number 5. Extra heavy shielding. So it can dodge missiles, but what if Air Force One is facing something a touch more pernicious, say, a nuclear blast? Well, it can survive that too. This is down to its extra protective shielding, which protects its electronics from the electromagnetic pulse generated by a nuclear blast. Number 4. The retractable stairs. You might not think that stairs can do a whole lot of damage, unless of course you carelessly slip on one, but actually, what if some insidious individual was to get their hands on the airport's steps in advance? They could do all sorts of things to it to ensure it's the last stairs the president will ever set foot on. This is why Air Force One comes with its own handy retractable stairs, meaning it remains entirely untampered with. These are located at both the rear and front entrances, so there should be no hanging around waiting for the local airport to get this act together. Air Force One also stands about as high as a 6-story building, so jumping really isn't an option. Number 3. Refueling in the air. One of the most remarkable security features of Air Force One is its ability to refuel while in flight. When the plane is in need of a top-up, a second plane magically arrives to do the job for it. So Air Force One, if required, never actually has to land. This would only ever happen in an emergency, and it's not as if it necessarily needs frequent refueling. Air Force One can hold 203,000 liters of fuel, which means it can safely fly halfway around the world without needing a top-up. When fully loaded, it also weighs a hefty 377,000 kilograms. Number 2. Air Force One is almost supersonic. One of the biggest perks of flying like the president is that when you really have to get somewhere, you can get there very quickly. The plane can fly over 600 miles per hour, or about 92% the speed of sound. It's so fast, the F-16 fighter planes that escorted the president's plane after the September 11th terrorist attacks requested that the pilot slow the plane down a touch so they could keep up. The idea is that should no ground positions feel completely secure, the plane can function as an in-air bunker for the president and their team, as was the case for a while on September 11th. Should the president ever get stuck in the air for long periods of time, he will definitely be looked after, as the plane not only includes an office and conference room, but also his own bedroom, a gym, and a kitchen. The plane also reaches heights of 45,100 feet. Commercial flights usually hover at around 30,000 feet. Number 1. The in-flight operating room. You might already be aware that a doctor accompanies the president everywhere he goes. However, what if there is an emergency in flight and the president absolutely has to be operated on? Well, that's why Air Force One has its very own operating room. The area includes a heavily stocked pharmacy, medical tools, an operating table, and equipment, as well as a store of the president's blood type chilling in the fridge. So there you go. While the President of the United States might be a particularly high-profile individual, they are also a highly protected one too. So what are your favorite security features? Or can you suggest ways to make the President even safer? Are there any gadgets from the world of 007 the Secret Service should be looking into? As always, let us know in the comments below.